Hi, I'm Joshua Ellul, and I'm going to talk about decentralization and humanity. One definition of humanity is human beings collectively. I'll come back to this. Decentralization is the process of taking away centralized powers. For example, rather than having a government take decisions about whether to invest in more street lamps or garbage bins in a community, such powers could be decentralized, allowing the community itself to take such a decision. Such community powers could be vested in a local representative or committee, whom let's assume were voted in by the community members. In this example, powers to choose representatives are completely decentralized down to all community members. However, the power to make the decision in regards to funding, street lamps, or bins is centralized to the representative. This is an example of a representative democracy, where community members can vote for their preferred representatives. Direct democracy, also referred to as pure democracy, on the other hand, allows for community members to directly make decisions on policies themselves. Whilst historically there have been a number of direct democracies, many argue that it is not feasible due to having to organize frequent referendums. Since the internet has become widely available, many have proposed e-democracies, the use of the internet and technology to support, amongst other things, shifting power down to the individuals rather than having centralized powers. Many advocated that this could enable for direct democracies. However, such solutions still pose issues of trust. The issue is that people would still need to trust the internet systems, that they were working correctly, and that they did not allow for any tampering. In the late 2000s, Bitcoin was proposed, a means to allow for a digital currency that allows for transactions directly between individuals, which do not require any intermediaries. Prior to this, the only way such peer-to-peer monetary exchanges could take place was using physical money. As all other digital transactions required a bank or other intermediaries in place. This was truly revolutionary. Indeed, like all other forms of currency, Bitcoin was used for illicit activities. Just like cash, just like bank transactions, and even banks have been specifically set up for illicit activities. But what Bitcoin provided was not just a way to facilitate peer-to-peer digital currency transactions. It made use of different techniques to create a way to ensure that no one could copy money and use money that they did not have access to. We call this mechanism blockchain, a system that is controlled by no single central authority, but by everyone collectively. This is decentralization. It was later realized that blockchain could be used for so much more than just a peer-to-peer digital currency system. It could be used to create self-sovereign ownership of land, enabling for person-to-person transfers of land without requiring a land registry authority, because the blockchain system becomes the registry itself, and no one can steal a property away from you by replacing a piece of paper in a registry. Blockchain systems could be used for all types of processes to ensure that they are tamper-proof and transparent. For example, procurement processes could make use of such systems to minimize corruption in tendering processes. This is how we can enable truly decentralized processes. Indeed, the technology is still in its infancy, but it is making strides. And the change that the technology can bring is revolutionary, not just on the currency or technology sides, but on a social level. Using such decentralized systems, e-democracies could be achieved, enabling a direct democracy. Sure, many questions exist. Should all members of a community have a say in regards to policy decisions that requires high levels of expertise? Maybe not. Should all policy decisions be made solely by representatives voted in? And should they collectively have unrivaled powers? Probably not. Unlike the early days of the internet, we now have the technology to enable direct democracies. Given rampant corruption around the world, high numbers of people feeling alienated and discontent with controlling powers, maybe it is time to start working towards humanity. Remember the definition? Human beings collectively, making humanity decisions for humanity. Decisions made by human beings collectively for humanity. It is time to start using decentralization for humanity.